It's Thursday. That means Chuck and Bob are here with your high school football preview as we get you ready for a week where we finally hand out some hardware. Trophies on the line, district championships in Michigan, sectional titles in Indiana. Let's start north of the border with War on the Shore #2. St. Joe going to Lakeshore. The Lancers won the regular season game with a furious rally, taking it 35-28. That's probably why they have home field on Friday night against the St. Joe Bears. Andrew Prattley's team coming in with a record of 6-4 after a thrilling victory over Zeeland West last week.
Yeah, ironically, both these teams are coming off wins over Zeeland, one West, one East. But St. Joseph has what they had early in the season, good size in their line. They've got some experience in the secondary, got some speed in that secondary. That's a big factor for them as well. So I think St. Joe will be ready for another chance to maybe get Lakeshore.
Trey McGinnis had a big week last week. He ran for 123 yards. He had 71 yards receiving. The quarterback, Matt Lanier, had a good game as well, 146 passing yards and a touchdown. But they run into this Lakeshore team that's coming off a thrilling overtime win. We saw them way back in the summertime, back in August, when they took on Portage Central. Danny Thompson's done a nice job in his first year at the helm of the Lancers.
He really is. Chuck, I can't remember a coach more excited about taking on the challenge than Danny was when he started off up there at Lakeshore. 7-3 in his first season. Now they've scored 279 points, but they've given up 256, and yet they found a way to battle their way to a 7-3 record.
Their quarterback, Ryan Korfmacher, having one of the great passing seasons in Lakeshore history. They're going to miss this guy. Cage Davison is out with a leg injury. He likely will not play. That's a major blow to the Lancers. Andrew Lies will look to pick up the slack. He had 108 rushing yards in last week's Lancer win. So let's come on down to the state of Indiana now. Get ready for sectionals here. We'll start you off in 1A with a pair of Hoosier North Conference rivals going against each other. Culver takes on North Judson. Blue Jays won back on opening night over Mike Zahner's Cavaliers 19-0. Cavs are 4-5, but Mike Zahner's got pretty decent defense there.
Aren't a lot of teams in the tournament still with losing records, but Mike's team has come along as they do normally in the course of the season, getting a little bit better, and they're going to have to be with this challenge coming up. Shane Schumann has done a nice job for them, and leading the way with yardage, and also Jason Cadle, the quarterback. He's had some outstanding numbers as well, and they've got enough balance. But I'm really excited about what Mike Zahner's put together there at Culver.
Last week against South Central, they got a shutout of the Satellites. In fact, they held them to 80 yards total offense, -5 rushing. Might be a little bit different story as they go to Liberty Field and take on Brett Lambert's North Judson Blue Jays, because North Judson comes in with a record of 7-3, and they were clicking on all cylinders, not only in this game in Knox, but last Friday against Winnemac, winning that one 40-13.
Anytime you have a player like Cheyenne Allen, you're going to be clicking, and he's been outstanding all year. Aldrich Harper, the quarterback, looks for him, finds him on a regular basis. Logan Redkey, Owen Frazier doing a nice job on defense, and this is a good team. Brett Lambert just in his third season with a record of 22-11.
That defense forced 6 turnovers last week in those sloppy conditions they played in. You know, these two teams, Culver and North Judson, played for a sectional title 2 years ago. North Judson won it 15-14. We'll see if it's that close this Friday night. In 2A, LaVille is 8-2 on the season. One of those losses, a 12-7 setback at the hands of Pioneer. And look who's coming to Lancer Field on Friday night. And the thing about Pioneer, they're like a few of the teams that we're talking about this week. They got off to an 0-2 start, but boy, they've been able to turn things around.
2 early losses, one to Cecina from Indianapolis, one to Winnemac, who had an outstanding season as well. But Brock Robinson is doing a nice job for them. Caleb Sweet, they've got a lot of balance in that offense. Nobody's running for over 1,000 yards, but they got a bunch of guys who can do a good job with it. And Derek LeGrand leads the defense. Now, this defense has been outstanding. LeGrand leads the team with 97 tackles.
You know, they've got this 9-game winning streak. In that 9-game win streak, they have not allowed more than 14 points in a game. It's going to be a challenge for a LaVille team that has problems scoring points, quite frankly. Their defense, though, LaVille's, has been terrific, only giving up 8 points a game all season.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't tell if their offense or defense is on the field because most of the guys are playing both ways, and you'll find that quite a bit at the 2A level. And again, that loss to Pioneer was just 12-7. Their other loss was in overtime loss to North Judson. So this is a team that's had another great year. Lucas Plummer, man, we just can't wait to see as he continues to evolve as a player. Just a sophomore leading the way for them, and really impressed with what Noah Richard has done for them as well.
Yeah, Levi Stafford having a nice year on defense as well, racking up some sacks. The winner of this game likely faces Andrean in the regional. And of course, big news out of Andrean on Wednesday night when Drake Bowen, their star linebacker, committed to Notre Dame. So there will be some local interest no matter who winds up playing in that game. In Class 4A, the NIC big school foes, St. Joe and New Prairie, go head-to-head. Cougars won this one 35-0 in the regular season, but I will say this. Brian Witten's St. Joe team has been playing excellent defense as of late. In fact, in the last 4 games, they're only giving up about 10 points a game.
And to get to this championship game, had a big goal line stand. They had a big interception late in the ball game, and Julian Commanda had the interception. Jack Dabalski is doing a great job for them. Alex Ortiz. Now, this is a team that is early in the season. Who's going to play where? Not sure and why, but they've hung in there. They believed in each other and the coach, and they're getting it done right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned interceptions. Antonio Morel had a couple of them last week too, but they're going to have their hands full with this New Prairie team, which has been playing pretty good defense itself. 3 shutouts in the last 7 games. They've held foes to 10 points per game all season. And offensively, they've found a pretty nice combo with Marshall Kamichek at quarterback and Noah Mungia at running back.
They really have. Chuck, one of the things that I guess would motivate this team maybe to be playing their best football now is that they had a chance to win the NIC, and they fell against Elkhart late in the season. So this is a team that still has a lot to go, a lot to play for, and as long as Hunter Whiteneck's in that offensive line, you got a shot.
So now let's move on to Class 5A, and what a matchup at Steele Stadium. We've been in that 5A sectional throughout the tournament, and Mishawaka has emerged to the championship round to take on Michigan City. Cavemen ranked number 7, City ranked number 10. Cavemen are looking for their 4th straight sectional title. City hasn't won one since 2018, but Phil Mason's Wolves are playing really, really well right now. They have won 5 straight, and in that 5-game win streak, they're averaging 42 points a game.
Well, Tyler Bush, their quarterback's been doing a nice job. And, you think about what Keith Kinder's been doing and how well he's been doing, and then you look at a guy like Phil Mason comes in. Oh, by the way, been there, done that. Yep. And Phil is a very good coach, and he's got a lot of tough kids over there. Marian Hatch is among them, who's doing a good job at the running back position. And defensively, they come after you. Very physical game coming up.
I really like the passing game, too. Tyler Bush, sophomore quarterback, has done a terrific job this season. He's got some talented receivers in Trey Simmons and Gio Laurent. And as Keith Kinder will tell anybody who wants to listen, and even those who don't, Michigan City has some speed. But Mishawaka does have swagger back because, well, they got their quarterback back. And Justin Fisher showed it on the first play of the game last week against Concord. He means business.
He does, and he's such a big, strong young man. And to get down the goal line, guess what? He's going to get in from a couple of yards out on a regular basis. Defense for Mishawaka stepped up, did a nice job forcing turnovers. Tough conditions there for Concord, no question about it. But how do you stop this guy? I mean, he's built low to the ground, explosive.
Chase Gooden ran for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, and they've got some other weapons, too. Chaz Hardy got a great block from Milan Burris there, took it on in for the score. This could be a shootout at Steele Stadium between these two potent offenses. Likely the winner faces perennial power Valparaiso in the regional. Not exactly a reward for your victory.
No, but it's what you want.
Yes, that's exactly. Sure. So let's move up to 6A. Penn can avoid a losing season if they can get a win over Chesterton in the sectional championship game. Easier said than done because the Kingsmen are 0-2 against Duneland Conference teams this year, losing to Valparaiso and LaPorte. Chesterton comes in here with a 7-3 record. They blanked Portage last week 16-0.
Anytime you get a big win in that area of the state, that's really something very physical over there. But as you said, Chesterton doing a nice job. The Trojans 7-3, and They've got some outstanding players on this team, including Garrett Lewis. He's running for 260 yards. Ethan Troy, 244 yards. And Chris Mullen has run for 246, but thrown for 1,500. So they've got some good balance in that offense.
17 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Those receivers, Jackson Westmoreland and Bryce Toma, 63 receptions combined. But don't forget about the Trojan defense. They're only giving up 10 points a game. Defense, the calling card for the Penn Kingsmen this year. Corey Yeoman's team is in a 6-game stretch, allowing just 5 points per game in that contrast.
Well, they've done an outstanding job. Corey Yeoman now in his 19th season, 190 wins in those 19 years. Ryan Buckley has really come into his own as a quarterback. Alex Hardrick is a guy they can count on running the football. But I like that defense, Chuck, as you mentioned. Michael Paquette and Brandon Arndt doing a really nice job. And boy, I tell you what, they're coming off a big win and playing with some confidence. They still think they can get over 500 on the year.
They do have home field advantage, but the big question is, can Penn summon enough offense to pull off the upset? Somebody needs to place a wake-up call to Bart Curtis, because it's been 3 weeks since the Warsaw Tigers played a football game. All of a sudden they wake up and they're in the 6A sectional championship against Fort Wayne Carroll. And anytime you talk about the Tigers, you're talking about running the option.
Well, they're going to run the option, then they'll run the option, because that's what they do best. And they've had a good performance from Tucker Curtis, their quarterback. And Julius Jones has really picked it up. They lost one of their top running backs early in the year. And Jones has done a nice job carrying the ball, and Jace Sawyer's also jumped up there. They got the Catholic brothers on defense, and they've been able to do what they do, and that's what Bart Curtis always says. We just have to do what we do best.
Defensively, the Tigers have struggled against good passing teams, and Carroll would qualify. Chargers are 9-1. Terrific balance on offense. Quarterback Jeff Becker, 21 touchdowns throwing the football, but he ran for 2 last week in the win over Homestead.
And 195 yards as well in that victory. And got a good performance also from Luke Carmody. He's a 190-pound running back, and anytime you have that kind of size, it's pretty easy to get down the field. And they've got a couple of receivers, too, and Coverstone is outstanding. And he's an explosive player. He's one of those guys that can do something for you on offense, but also on special teams.
Last 5 games, too. Carroll's defense has allowed total 5 games, 17 points. So quite the challenge for Warsaw, but they'll look for their 2nd sectional championship in the last 3 years. And the game we have for you on TV 46, the Class 3A sectional, something has to give. Jimtown has won 9 straight games. Marian has won 6 straight sectional titles. One of those streaks ends Friday night at Bob Atulski Field in Mishawaka. We'll start with the Jimmies, who steamrolled their way through the NIC small school division.
They sure did, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're just really proud of what Corey Stoner and his staff have done there, 16-6 in the 2nd year. They did lose to Marian early in the year, 44-19. That was in the sectional last year. Landon Buchanan, John Reed, Trent Daniels, you go down the list there. Quarterback Tyson House playing much better at this time of year. And got some defenders, too, Hunter Conrad, Sam Garner. And this is a team that likes each other. They trust each other, and they become a very good football team.
Yeah, that defense allowing just 11 points per game, but can they stop the speed of the Marian Knights? You can start with the explosive Greg Atkinson. He averages 18 yards per touch, can hurt you both running and receiving. But I'll tell you what, I like the balance they have formed. Bryce Lassane has matured, and Caleb Lusanga is a threat at running back.
Yeah, we had a good look at Caleb at practice this week, and he has really matured into a strong physical running back, a lot of confidence. And, boy, when you look at the defense, what they can do with their linebackers, Setefano Sete and Michael Murphy, boy, that's a great way to start any defense.
I mean, those two have made more stops this year than the Indiana State Police. We'll show this clash of traditional powers coming to you live on the IHSA Champions Network. Our pregame starts right around 6:45, and then we'll have it for you on TV 46, Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Hope to see you out at the games. If not, we hope you'll be watching on TV. For Bob Nagel, it's Chuck Freeby. Thanks for joining us here on social media.